Hello, today I want to talk about the generally held belief that exams measure intelligence. As parents, we want to be proud of our children. I'm sure you do. We want them to be happy and fully achieve their potential. So we kind of watch them at school, watch how they're doing at tests and watch how their exam results are. Of course, it's natural. But if you examine the facts, what's happening? Most successful people told that they'd never make much in their life, and that's what they're told at school. Then they go on and do far better in real life than the rest of their class. In actual fact, it's really rare for someone who was top of their class right through school to go on to have a stellar career. And even more remarkable is that the greatest people, I'm talking about the folk who go on to make billions and get to the top of their profession on a global scale, they're the ones that often dropped out of school or college completely. So what's this about conventional education that we've got to rethink, and how does it make you feel about your child? I've met so many parents of children, parents who are themselves very successful, very intelligent, who discover that their children are struggling at school and they can't understand it. And they want to know, what's happened to my genes? A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a professor at a famous red brick university, and he was telling me, they are so well known, they're able to pick the children with the very best exam results. Then they discover that when they get to university, these children who've got huge amounts of knowledge just don't know how to learn in the normal real life way. And so they're talking about introducing special projects to them to give these children practice in how to really learn. Their schools have done a great job at cramming information into them so they can pass the exam, but that's not what real life is. I don't know if you've ever met a savant. It's actually very sad, but the savants are the kind of people, they might even know the whole of the telephone directory, can recite it off to you. They can pass every exam going, but they can't do up their shirt buttons, or they can't have a normal conversation with someone. So let's rethink the real value of knowledge, pure knowledge that's not applied in a real world way. So there's lots of contradictions here in our fundamental beliefs that we've had a long time, because we've been programmed to link knowledge and exam results with intelligence. It's not true. So what is actually going on? Well, I'm Wynford, Dore, and I've been studying the brain. I've been studying the whole process of how the brain learns, how the brain acquires skills for many years now. And I've done it because of what happened with my own daughter. She struggled to retain information. So I got into this, but I've discovered some really remarkable things. One of the things that I find really remarkable is that we've always thought there's two elements to learning: being taught and practice, and that was it. But there's actually a third really important element, and that is the ability of our brain to acquire certain types of skill. We all know that we become naturals, our children become naturals, and people become naturals at many skills, but not all. So what is it that makes the difference? Well, there's something in the brain that we've got to learn more about, and we can do more about it too. But there's also another thing, and that is this different learning styles. Some people are very good visual learners. What they see, what they read, they're able to absorb it and retain it fabulously. And then there's the auditory learners. Those are the folk that can listen to a lecture, or listen to a teacher talking, think about it and retain it beautifully. But then there's kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learning is learning by doing. And there's a large number of people like that. And in actual fact, many very bright children learn far better by doing than they do by watching or listening. And if you give them a new digital game, all they want to do is throw away the instructions, get it all out on the floor, play with it, and before long, they've worked out what to do, what's going on. That is real intelligence, and that's really exciting. And so just think about it. If you've got a very bright child that actually learns better by doing, make sure that they're in a situation always in school where they're being engaged by being able to do. And great teachers do that superbly. They find a way of engaging with a child that relates to their learning style. But because so many children, especially bright children, relate better to learning, we at Arnold Lodge are doing far, far more, and increasingly we've got plans to increase this greatly, to go into project-based learning, because that is the way that really intelligent children learn. And of course, it is real learning. It gives them an application for real life. They're learning not just the knowledge, which they do very well, but in fact, better than average. They then go on to learn how to communicate, how to share that knowledge, how to show it to others as part of a combined project that they're working on with other children. It's a really fabulous way to learn. Children love it and they learn far more. And that's why we're getting so much value added. And the value added in a school context is how much greater does that child do in exams than is predicted when they join the school. That is what value added is. And it's so important. And we love it when children exceed expectations. We love helping them do that. And it's a result of the policy of finding and cultivating real intelligence, finding and cultivating the genius, the hidden potential. So what's all this mean? It means that intelligence is not just passing exams. Passing exams is just a process of regurgitation. There's no real value added there. There's no preparation for the real world. It's not preparation for university or careers or anything. So my plea to you is, don't rely on what you're seeing in exam results, especially if they're at a school that crams for exams. That's cruel to children. It's such a short-term policy. So look at your children's ability to understand adult concepts and find out things for themselves, the confidence to go off and research, look in Google and all those wonderful things online these days. Make sure they've got an inquiring mind. And above all, find ways of engaging them so they become excited about what they're learning and not bored. Having said all of that, exam results are important. And until someone finds a far better way of assessing real intelligence, we must also achieve great exam results for our children. So the good news is that these innovative ways of teaching and learning, like project-based learning, does achieve both. They learn the knowledge and the ability to use it in real life situations. So remember, important as exams are right now, they're just a small part of what good schooling must achieve.